say you're a sole proprietor, uh, uh, you can go out and get people to help you build your website, write a business plan for it. You don't need to do the thing. I don't want to write my own business plan. I don't want to do these functions that I'm not good at. Other people are better at. I don't have to hire somebody necessarily to do it. You just mentioned it. There are many resources that you can tap into without putting someone on your payroll.
Exactly, or at least long term, right?
Yes.
I mean, even something as simple as designing the book cover that you see behind me.
Yeah.
I know design. I think I'm pretty decent at it, and I think most entrepreneurs are pretty decent at most anything, which is the problem. It's not that you're good at it; it's what you should be. It's that you should be focusing on what you do best.
Yeah.
I bet you could have been a pretty decent wide receiver, but that's not the point.
That's not the
point is you were a fantastic quarterback.
Yeah.
You're a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you focused on what you did best. And entrepreneurs are good at lots of other things. They shouldn't do what they're good at. They should do what they're fantastic at. So in the case of the book cover, I went online, hired 3 different designers on Upwork, and paid them all to create a book cover for me. And then I decided which one did the best work and which one I wanted to work with long term. That's a great pattern that anyone can use, is hire a few people, find out what it's like to work with them, and it's not going to cost you very much. And it's so much better than you trying to do these things on your own first.
And the longer I live, the more I understand I don't have to know everything. I don't have to be expert in everything. And when you get to that point, it's a big burden off your shoulder. And I think so many entrepreneurs coming out, well, I've got to be the smartest guy in the room. I've got to know everything. And you don't have to know everything.
Right. And even if you did, it doesn't help the business. It's so much better to focus on what you do best.
I believe this. Maybe teams win. Individuals don't. We know that in sport, don't we? Even as great as LeBron James can be on the basketball court, he cannot win without all the pieces, all the players, all the teammates. In business, even though you're sole proprietor, maybe you have 2 or 3 employees, if you're going to get your message out, you've got to have many platforms to sell your products or to give your message to more people. And I'm sure you see that in what you do. I know you one of your platforms is Lindy, right? Or
Linda. Yeah, lynda.com, which if you're not familiar with it, I call it the Netflix of online learning.
Yeah.
You pay a one month fee and you get access to 4,000 plus courses. They were just acquired by LinkedIn. Yeah. So that's a perfect example. I could have gone out and created my own online training platform and tried to sell that myself. And I know a lot of authors and speakers do that, and maybe it works for them. For me, I recognize that's not what I do best. What I do best is delivering and creating content. And so I decided to partner with them and enter into an agreement where all I have to do is just go out to their studios in California, create my content, film it. They have editors, they have marketers, they have producers, they have all those things. And by partnering with them, it's been very, very successful for me to reach far more people than I could have reached otherwise.
Yeah.
But I'm doing what I do best. I'm making lots of money doing it, passive money doing it, and I'm helping people all around the world. And that's kind of what we're talking about. There's no one right way for every entrepreneur, but what is the wrong way is trying to do everything yourself. That is not going to get you the result you want.
Yeah, and now as an entrepreneur, sole proprietor, you can go out and have real technology experts do things for you in technology or design or marketing or whatever, and you can bring these resources to you who can do things better than you can do it to enhance your business, again, just on a part-time basis.
Yeah. So let me transition to sort of the how we start that process.
Good.
It begins by looking at your calendar and budgeting time in your calendar to focus on your most valuable position. So let's say that I say my most valuable position is, well, I'll just give you my personal example. So mine's writing and speaking, so creating content. So I'm budgeting time in my calendar, chunks of time, 4 hours on Tuesday, 4 hours on Wednesday, 4 hours on Thursday, and I protect that time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't allow anything else to take place during that time, not sales calls, not meetings with employees, nothing. I protect that because I recognize the high value of that time. And anyone listening to this, you identify what it is that you do best, what is worth the most per hour, and budget that time in your calendar. The average business owner is spending less than 20% of their time in their most valuable position. And that's because they haven't budgeted time. They haven't made a conscious decision to protect that. And maybe it's not breaking it up into days. Maybe you say, or into the hours like I talked about. Maybe you say, on Thursday and Friday, I'm going to focus on my most valuable position. And on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll do the other stuff that needs to get done in order to make the business run for now. But you start with the budget and protect that time.
So the most efficient people, the people who get things done the most, are the ones who can put that focus on the what you call the most valuable time, most valuable things that they can do.
Exactly. The least productive people try to accomplish 10 things in their day.
Yeah.
20 things in their day. Their day is just filled with appointment to appointment to appointment. I know when we were kind of discussing beforehand, you told me about somebody who just filled with appointments, right?
Yeah. Meetings.
Yeah. The most productive people only try to accomplish a couple of things. 2, maybe 3, even better, 1 thing per day. You actually get far more done by trying to do less. And that gets back to the myth of multitasking. When I switch my attention multiple times throughout the day, I'm losing lots of time by transitioning from all these different conversations, all these different types of work. If I can focus on one thing and really buckle down on it for an extended period of time, I'm going to get far, far more done. And that's what I see top executives that I work with do.
You know, I did mention when we were talking before, a lot of big companies or medium-sized companies, they have a system. They want their executives, mid-level and upper executives, doing things all day. They're talking. They've got 15 conference calls going. This one guy, I think I told you, I said, how many, this is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, how many conference calls have you been on so far today? He said, 15.
Right.
I said, how'd you know what the first one was all about? You're on so many conference calls, you're in so many meetings, they can't get anything done.
Exactly.
Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah. It's death by meeting for sure. Meetings are valuable, but only to a point, and the point is which they reinforce your most valuable position. I mean, I'm meeting with you right now. We could call this a meeting, but what am I doing? I'm on my most valuable position. I'm creating and delivering content. I'm teaching right now. So this is of value. But what happens is so often we just schedule all different kinds of meetings, all different kinds of activity without conscious thought as to whether or not they feed the most valuable position.
And that's the important thing right there. And the example I gave, this guy doesn't know why he did those 15 calls.
Right.
And if you don't know, there will be likely no result.